without further ado, we are going to have Nichole Harris do a live cooking show for us. Give it up for Nichole Harris.
Everybody have a notebook and a pen. Okay, so I give you lots of tips to take from with you. Normally at the beginning of my show, I'm not going to go around here because I'm wasting my time. If I do that, I'm wasting my time. I normally have everybody go around the room, give me their first name and what their favorite pantry product is, their last name. Because guess what that does? Who's going to buy because somebody else has already said, I love my food chopper, or I love my baker, or I love my stainless steel bowl. Okay, so if you're not doing something like that, you may want to start that because that's going to increase those sales. Because I see a lot of pens not right now, but at my show, because they already do have their catalog and their receipt before we start the show. Okay, so that's my very first name. Of course, I take photos and all that good stuff. Now, of course, I'm doing an air demo, so this is going to be very interesting. But this is what I take to my show, okay? I will tell you, I do bring my salad and berry spinner if I'm doing a salad. So if I'm not doing a salad, it does not come with me. But everything else that you see. So this is what I hear, oh my gosh, you take a lot of stuff to your show. Does this look like a lot of stuff? Okay, but guess how much should I take to my shows? $1,015 products, okay? Do I talk about, now I of course haven't added mine up, but I'm sure mine's $3,000 or $4,000 that I talk about because I do talk about those certain pages, okay? So the first thing I do is I have everybody fill out their receipt, okay? I know we haven't started the new web yet, somewhat, but I do get them to either write down their email address or their phone number, so that way I'm in the mode of already doing that. I do light boards, okay? Everybody does like that because they don't have to find something to write on, okay? I do have the guest specials and host specials in the back. Okay, so they're not having to flip through their catalogs. And I always give a 3.5 by 5 index card. Okay, and I do that for notes purposes. Okay, because does anybody bring a notebook to a pantry show? Okay, and I don't want them writing all over their catalogs and all that stuff, so I do them. And I do make a joke out of it. If you run out of room, that is your purpose is to fill it up front and back and ask me for a new one. Okay. And it's funny because this is what I see the whole show. I need a new card, okay? So that's what we're doing. Now what I'm going to do, now this is, I actually got this recipe from Hannah, which is the chicken bruschetta bake. Has anybody made that? Just me and Hannah. Okay? But this is kind of same products that I would actually use if I was doing a grilled chicken panini al fresco. Exact same products right here, okay? So you can actually do either one. I do bring my baker, and I would probably tell you I probably bring 2 to my show because I'm doing dessert as well, okay? Whether if I'm doing brownies, I'm bringing the brownie pan, or I'm bringing this to do a cake in, okay? Obviously, we got the lid. We start rolling through the show, and the first, I do give them my name. I do not do my story, okay? Because I play the ticket game at the end, and that's when they find out the information that they want about me. Because I feel like I want them to ask me what they want to know. I don't want to go into this is why I sell, this is why I do this. I want them to ask me what they want to know about me. Okay, so my story actually comes at the end of the show. So the first thing what we do normally in the baker is I'm actually going to put the chicken in here, okay, with the onions. But because I need my simple slicer for my onions, then I save that so I don't cook that ahead of time. So my chicken breast I've actually put in here, and we're doing Greek roll, right? Greek roll, okay. You can actually do the Italian. Oh, crushed pepperoni, that's right. That in here in a simple slicer. How many of y'all have this right here? Okay. If you have questions as I'm going through this, ma'am. The simple slicer. Anybody here have the microwave chip maker? Okay. Raise your hand if you are using that at your show right now. 2 people. Okay. How many of y'all are scared of that thing?
The chip maker? Okay, I use that thing.
Okay, got a lot of scared people in here. Okay. And the reason I ask, this is one of the questions that I get. I say we can actually make homemade chips. How many of y'all go to your restaurants and get your hot chips, your buffalo chips? Everybody raises their hand. And I said, how would you like to make those at home? And everybody gets excited. Okay. So even though I may not be making them at my show, I talk about it with this. Okay. How many of y'all have tried to make them at home without this? How'd they turn out? Okay, because that's what I get. Nichole, how do you make your chips so good? The first thing I ask them is you're cutting it up with a knife, and I get that. You can't do it. Okay, you're gonna cut your fingers up if you do that. So that's when I start with this. Anybody here have the mandolin? I'm gonna write that. It's not my favorite product. Just y'all go to my shows. But this is one of my favorite products. Is a simple slicer. Okay, how many of y'all go to the grocery store and get your meats cut up? Like your hams, turkeys. You know how you got the number? Okay, same thing. How many of y'all know the holiday season's coming up? Anybody buy those beef sticks for Pepperidge Farm? How do you cut that up right now? And what does it look like? Okay, guess what this is for? Okay, it's already numbered, that's all you need. So then I go into, it is locked position right now, so you cannot get nothing in there, okay? And I actually will use something to use this. If I don't use it at a show, there will be something used in here, whether it is a potato, onion, or tomato, okay? I actually save it and actually use all 3 levels so they can actually see it. You need to show this because, what is this called? Simple. Okay, very, very simple. Okay, I do tell them that they can use this, any type of fruit or vegetable that does not have a core pit in it. Okay, apples, no. Peaches, no. Okay, pineapples, no. We have our own slicers for those. Okay, so that's one of the things I do tell them that it is dishwasher safe. And I will have people come up and use it because this is what I get. You make it look so easy. Okay, so this is very simple. How many of y'all use this? How many of y'all like this? Okay, I ask people at my shows, what is the 3 things you hate slicing? Tomatoes, onions. Okay. What about stir fries? Anybody here do stir fries? Okay. Squash and zucchini. How do you cut that up right now? Huh? Mandolin. They use a knife. Okay. So if you know this, if you actually cook, if everything's cooked evenly, does it not cook faster? Okay. So why not cut this up? Now, who in here is OCD and got to have everything cut up the same way? I know hands. Okay. So even if you're going to do something at your house, does it not need to be perfect? Yeah. Okay. So that's where this comes in, whether it's cucumbers. So if I'm doing a salad show and she didn't buy a tomato or she didn't buy onion, guess what's on here? My cucumbers. Okay. I'm actually using the veggie pillar to actually show that. Yes, I know it's only, what, $8 or something like that, but I do sell a lot of those because I show them with a knife what it does and then with your thing. So this is what I'm actually going to chop the onions up to put in there. Yeah, still living right there. Now, of course, after I've done that, this is going in the microwave, I believe, for like 12 to 14 minutes. Okay, everybody's microwave is different, so you need to let people at your shows know that because they buy this and go home and do what? Well, my chicken ain't done in 12 minutes. You need to know everybody's microwave is not the same. Okay, so you need to say this is what the average time is. You may have to add a little bit more. Okay, so while this is going in the microwave, okay, this is where I'm going to start with my salad. Okay, and I'll tell you the chicken bake is not a lot. Okay, when you look at that recipe, you're like, well, I'm not really using a lot of products. But you need to know you need to make something else with it. So those of y'all that made the grilled chicken panini al fresco at your shows, do you make anything else with it? What do you do with the salad? Okay, so just know, am I bringing an extra product? I'm bringing 1 salad and berry spinner. It's not like I'm still using the same products, okay? So at this point, I've already had, and I do show up to my shows 45 minutes to 1 hour early, okay? Sometimes it's 45 minutes, sometimes it can be less because I am traveling from Greensboro an hour most of the time to my shows. And of course of traffic, so about 45 minutes to 1 hour. So what I've done ahead of time is half of everything is already prepped, okay? Already prepped and done. Catalogs are out, so that way when they come, we can get started, okay? So my lettuce is already cut up in here, okay? And I have sprinkled just a little bit of water. Does that make sense? Not the whole thing. Because this is the whole point of your salad and berry spinner. Now, I want you to raise your hands and be honest with me. How many of y'all buy bag lettuce? Rams. So I'm good, it's not a lot of people, okay? Why do y'all buy bag lettuce? Lazy. That's correct. How much does bag lettuce cost? More than. Okay, you're buying an 8-ounce bag, am I correct? Right. Okay, 30 minutes after you open that bag, what happens to it? It's brown. What do you do with it? Who's crazy? Okay, because you're throwing half of it in there. How many of y'all wash that lettuce? I do now. Thank you. Okay, so Teresa is, well, let's put it this way, you're the only one telling the truth, okay? And so why don't you wash that lettuce? Okay, what is it pre-washed with? Chemicals. So is it soap? Okay. Chemicals. It is pre-washed with chemicals. How many of y'all watch the news? Everybody watch the news? How many times a year do you see bag lettuce in recall? Why do you still buy it? Okay. Everybody heard of pesticide poisoning? Okay. If you don't notice, you see a lot more of it. And guess where it comes from? Not just that, okay, but it is your fruit and vegetables that you don't wash, okay? So just know, and it was on my Facebook, if you're my friend, I tell people at my show this every single show, whether it's my stainless steel bowls or the salad and berry spinner. It is for real, okay? People look at me like I'm crazy, but I did post it on my Facebook to say, look, I'm not crazy, okay? Because if you don't know this, it is a very slow process and it shuts all your organs down, okay? How many of y'all are guilty of going to the grocery store right now eating cherries, grapes, and strawberries from the grocery store? Ramsey, again. Okay, at least she washes them, I mean, her lettuce anyway. Again, pesticide poisoning. Do y'all know where these have been? How many of y'all have kids? Know that you're worse than your kids, okay? Because your adults, guess where their hands are being? Money, cigarettes, all over the cars, gas tanks. Just know people go right in and eat from there, okay? So think about what you're putting in your mouth. And families do it all the time. I go to the grocery store and the whole family eat the grapes. Okay? It does not take 2 seconds to go home and wash your grapes. And then if they're not good, take them back to the store. They will return them for you, okay?
I'm sorry, what do you wash your grapes with? Just water?
Oh, I just wear them in water. I don't use all that.
You don't add no
You
soap?
can do the
You add
veggie
chemicals?
wash. The veggie wash is really
Yeah,
good.
I just wear water. Now, I do bring my vegetables and my fruit home, and I do wash it when I bring it home, okay? Again, you just go throw it in a bag and put it in the refrigerator. Guess what's in the refrigerator? All those people's hands in your thing, okay? And it's pre-washed with chemicals, this salad mix up here, right? Okay? Well, guess what? Somebody's hand had to go in there and put it in there, right? Okay, just let me know. Anybody here do celery at home? Celery. Okay, do y'all wash that? What's on that stuff? Dirt. Guess what's in your salad mix? And you don't wash it, okay? How many of y'all have done salad mix in here? And this salad and berry spinner? Done. Washed it in here. How many of y'all do regular lettuce in here? Okay. Anybody done this at a show with salad mix? Okay. Does everybody know what sweet tea looks like? Guess what color your water is?
Yeah.
Teresa, guess what color your water is? Sweet tea color. Okay. Regular head lettuce, it is dirty, but is it sweet tea looking? No. Okay. I'm telling you, when I get that look, they need a trash can. Okay. Because if you think about it, on average, this, I only bring this size unless I'm doing a lot. Okay. That fits right down in the salad berry spinner. So this is the one that I bring, either this or the medium one. Okay. Because most people strain where? In sink. Can't see what color water it is, right? Okay. So when they see this, that changes perspective. So just like Hannah said, until you show this, it doesn't register with them. Okay. When they see that water, they're going, I'm not buying bag lettuce again. And think of the people who do not wash that. Okay. So if you're going to continue to buy that bag lettuce, you need to wash it. Okay. Make sure you do clean. We do joke. I do joke at my shows. I'm very amazed that I do have people who don't know what NASCAR is. Anyway. I do tell them about this. I normally ever bring the small insert because I'm always doing lettuce. So I do tell them about that. We do have 2 inserts. You have to keep this when you run this because that's what runs it, okay? So I say, how many people here know what NASCAR is? You know, some shows I get a lot, some of them looking like, what? I'm like, you don't know what NASCAR is? Anyway, I joke this goes 35 miles an hour, okay? And we got the break. And of course I do show them. On average, I do this about 3 times. I always bring the 3-cup prep bowl with me, okay? Because what color is it? Clear, so they can see what color the water is. Okay? So whatever you're doing, regular lettuce or real lettuce, either way. Now when I get done, I go, of course, rinse this out. Okay? Is everybody explaining to your people this is a serving bowl? Okay? So not only, yes, you probably use your bamboo because it's prettier, but as far as space-wise for you and your host, I just serve right out of here. Okay? That's how I do that. Now, if I was at home, and I tell people this, would I probably be using every single one of these products to cut up vegetables? No. Okay? But I'm doing it so they can see how these different ones work. So I will normally start off with the cucumber with the veggie. Vegetable. How many of y'all have this? Do you take to your show? Okay. Do you show people what it does? Because I'm amazed when I get that look like, oh my gosh. Okay. How many of y'all cut your potatoes and your cucumbers up right now with a knife? Take the peeling off. Okay, what do you waste half of? Okay, so if you have a veggie peeler, why are you using a knife? Loser. She said loser. And I ask people, how many people here have a veggie peeler? And I get that. And I said, what is one thing you don't like about it? What do you think the #1 reason people don't like about it? It's not sharp. Okay, it's not sharp. This moves all the way around. Okay, You know, it just does not do what I need it to. Now, I will tell you, if you go to the Dollar Tree, you go to Walmart, you're going to get that one that continuously spins, so you can't never get a hold of it. This only moves halfway. This is 90 degrees, so it's not even going all the way around, okay? This has, and of course mine at home is all silver because I got an old one, okay? So my old one's probably 12 years old, and it will still cut me today, okay? So I actually peel this, and I actually show the peeling to everybody, and everybody's mouth drops, okay? Or I'll have somebody who actually has a different brand that'll come up and use this, okay? So I'll actually slice it up with that, okay? If I don't have anything else to use the cucumber with, whatever, I'll actually use this. Now, what I've done a lot too is if I'm using this, how many of y'all have a French fry cutter? How many of y'all have taken that to your shows? What have you used it for? Just potatoes? Okay, good, so everything. Okay, so don't buy that just for French fries, okay? The very first thing is I tell them, no, we're not doing French fries tonight, but I'm going to show you a couple of vegetables. So if I've got squash, zucchini, or a cucumber, that's what I use it for, okay? I do break the news right off the bat and tell them it's not for sweet potatoes, and I get that, oh, I don't want to do that, okay? But I tell them because the potato's too thick. So I'll actually show a cucumber, and guess what I see right down for everybody? French fry cutter, because not only can they do it for French fries, they can do it for everything else. So if I'm not going to slice it this way, I'll actually do the French fry cutter and actually do a cucumber, just so they can see it that way, okay? Now we're going to come back, and I'm going to start my garlic. How many of y'all have this right here at home? How many of y'all use this at your shows? Oh, wow. Had a lot of hands go down. Anybody scared of this? No, you're not scared? Okay. Everybody know this removes the skin? Okay. And I do bring my salt and pepper grinder. Anybody take this to your show? Y'all sell these at your show? Yes. Okay, how much is this? $59. Okay, $59. Okay, so $59 because it's not only $59 because what they got to put in here? That's another what? $14, $15, okay? Now what I do is I actually let everybody taste the salt at my shows, okay? I actually go around and show them how fine it comes out, okay? Because a lot of people hate grinders for what reason? They don't work, all they're doing is eating crystals. It's not made for you to eat these crystals, okay? It's supposed to be ground up. So I do not let people do this because this is hot, okay? And I do tell them that they can use this, but the one thing that I do use is the holder force. I slide it right in there so I don't lose it, okay? But I do, of course, remove the garlic from here to actually show them. But this is actually my favorite piece is, guess what I sell this much for? Carrots. Almonds, okay? How many of y'all buy slivered almonds at the grocery store? How much do you pay for that 4-ounce bag? Okay. What do y'all use that for? Salads? Okay. So not only is this a garlic slice, but this is actually you can put pecans in there, you can do your almonds, and I actually will do obviously I'm using it for garlic that night, okay? And of course, and what I do is I say, do y'all see how much y'all can stack in there? And I actually show everybody this. So you can use this for fresh chocolate, any nuts, or your garlic, okay? But I do probably use it, I probably sell a lot more just for the purpose of the almonds, okay? Because how much do you pay for a bag of whole almonds? It's about $7, $8, but when you pay for that 4-ounce bag, $4 or $5, okay? And you get exactly what you buy in that bag, okay? And then you can grate it as you need it and not have to buy the entire thing. So that's when I use the garlic slicer. Now, if I'm actually slicing garlic at my show, I know that they can see it here. But I literally take it around and actually show people how thin it is, okay? I get that look like I've been in the hospital if I try to do that with a knife, okay? And you notice a lot of your recipes today, especially if you're a big Food Network person, is calling for sliced garlic, okay? So, and a lot of people's like, I don't know how to do that, okay? Or if they try, it's going to be really, really thick. Now, I try to tell people, because depending on what recipe I'm doing, the garlic press or this, if you have people who are not really big on garlic, you need to stay away from this. Because guess what you're going to taste? You're going to taste garlic from this. Or if you do the press, it's so much lighter, you're not going to be able to taste it. So I do tell people, you know, if I love garlic and my husband hates it, then I probably would hardly ever use this for garlic, okay? I'm using my garlic press. So that's what I'm doing for the garlic, okay? How many of y'all have this wonderful baby picture? Okay, pineapple wedge or apple wedger, okay? That's normally what I ask. How many people have apple wedgers, pineapple wedgers? And again, do I have to sell it? I love my pineapple wedger, okay? That kind of thing. And I do tell people as far as pineapple wedgers, you have to buy your pineapples correctly for them to be sliced correctly, okay? Even with a knife, I get that look like I hate buying pineapples because I can't cut it up. Your pineapples need to be that bronze yellow color on the outside. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? Okay? Not green, it needs to be that bronze yellow. So this is what, normally in this, I'm either doing a potato just to show if I'm not using a tomato or onion, okay? I do a lot of oranges and grapefruit. If they don't have anything, they normally have a grapefruit or an orange, and that's what I use it for, okay? Again, I do explain to them this is not for any hungry vegetable that has a pure in the middle of it, okay? How many of y'all here like oranges or grapefruit? How many of y'all hate killing that? Okay, a lot of people do. So you're gonna put this on here, and of course, I ask everybody here who has blades from Pampered Chef. Who has blades? Everybody should raise their hand. Don't y'all have a knife or a big chopper? Okay? This meat, and I say this is no joke. No joke, okay? So if you have kids, please don't let them get a hold of this, because guess what they want to do? They want to put their fingers up on there, okay? How many of y'all have been cut by a pineapple slicer, apple wedger, okay? It's no different, and you know better, right? But it just happens. So I try to ask people, and people will tell you, I've got cut by the mandolin. I've had several of my customers in the hospital for cutting their thumbs off with that ultimate mandolin, okay? Have I told them you got to have them cut? You have to have this on. They don't listen, okay? So they end up in the hospital. But what I do is I actually just slice this, take it right around, and show everybody. And they're like, I mean, I get that like, oh my gosh, you just pushed it down, okay? I do tell them we have silicone. Y'all notice we have silicone just on about everything so it doesn't slide around your countertops for you, okay? My thing about the salad and berry spinner, I pick on people who have other brands because they don't have silicone. Guess what they're doing? Chasing that bowl around, okay? So that's one of my other moves. All right, how many people have a food chopper from Pampered Chef? Okay, how many have a food processor? Now, as consultants, how many of y'all use your food processor now? I don't even take the food chopper anymore. I know it's bad. Now, I will take it if I'm going to use this for a lot of vegetables and I need to cut up some nuts or something. I will take my food chopper for that. And I think for us as consultants, it works better because we're doing more food at a show than we would if we were doing it at home. So this, and I ask everybody the food chopper, okay? Then I go to how many people here have an electric food processor at home? Okay, most of the time I get anywhere, depend, you know, half the room will raise their hand. How many people use your food processor? I may get one hand, okay? Tell me why you don't like your food processor. So what's the reasons people don't like their food processor?
Mushy.
Mushy.
Hard to clean.
It's still up here in the box when I got married 30 years ago, okay? It's hard to clean. I can't get the blades out. It's mush, okay? So then I actually go into again, and of course I normally don't have anything in here yet because I actually say this. Because this right here is something I talk about at every single show. I will find something to cut up in here. Because guess how many I sell at a show? At least 2 or 3 if not more, okay? Even people who have the food choppers are buying this, okay? So the first thing I tell them is, once again, we got the silicone on the bottom so we don't want you having to jump your bowls over here, okay? The next thing is the blades come straight out. Did y'all see how I pulled that straight out of there, okay? So, and I did learn this in Denver, so this is a new tip for me, was y'all notice these blades are different from a manual food processor, okay? What we've done is we have curved them and they're stacked up the stem, okay? But these are an electric food processor blade and a manual food processor, okay? But we did this so your food does this and not this, okay? That's why a lot of people do not like their electric food processors, okay? So ours is constantly going. So then again, I go to, this is 3 cups, okay? But if you think about it, our food chopper is about a half a cup that you get out of it if you're chopping. So this is actually 3 cups, so you can do a lot. How many of y'all have done coleslaw in here? Okay, hash browns, salsa, okay, chicken salad, egg salad, all that stuff. So you need to give your customers kinds of ideas because they're just going to think, well, thanks for here, onions and peppers, okay, every show. So what I do is actually, whatever I'm doing, I'm going to throw it down in here, obviously I use it. I do tell them all this is dishwasher safe, but this is not. You will be trying to get water out of this for 3 months, okay? You cannot leave this in the sink in water because it's full of...
I have a lot of people ask if they do soups.
Okay.
Can they put hot stuff in there even though it's not dishwasher safe?
This is dishwasher safe.
Right, but the top isn't. But you
No.
can put stuff that you want to make a soup in it. You done
Doesn't
that?
have anything to do with the
Doesn't-
pot. It
yeah,
has to do with, we don't want it submerged in water.
Because this is hollow, okay, if y'all don't notice, this is all hollow. So this entire thing will fill up with water and this will drip for 3 months, not joking, okay? So when you wash this, it is not even putting it into the water and letting it soak. It is taking it home, wiping it off with soap, okay? So that is one of the biggest things that I do tell my customers is don't go in the dishwasher and don't let it submerge in water, okay? And again, I try to not use peppers and onions in here because that's what everybody uses, okay? So like my last show, I actually used half of the potato on this to show it as I cut it up and finished it off in here just so they could start to show how to make hash browns, okay? So not only if you're not going to use the products, and if you want to bring something to your show, a potato is a great thing because you can use the veggie pillar. You can use so much just for 1 potato or 2 potatoes just to show people, okay? All right, so now our chicken's done, okay? We've got the chicken and onions, which at this point we're going to use salad choppers. Raise your hand again if you use salad choppers at your show, okay? This is what I get. I would have never ever thought of buying them because are they not born in that catalog? They're cutting lettuce up. I probably use this 99% more for everything else than I do lettuce, okay? Now, what I do when I start this, how many people here make salads at home? Okay, how many of y'all like a lot of stuff in your salad? How many people are bored? Look, I got 2 people bored, okay? Lettuce and cheese and cucumbers, probably some ranch dressing, okay? So those of y'all that like a lot of stuff, I will go around the room and have each person tell me. I want you to tell me what you cut up with a knife, food chopper, anything that you cut up to put in a salad. Everybody try to give me something different. So we'll go around the room, and nobody says lettuce. Unreal. Okay, I get to the end, and like, I don't know what else to put in the lettuce. Okay, so these is what I explain. Of course, I'm going to chop up the chicken. Now, I cannot pass this around. So if I'm at a show and doing this right here, I literally pass this around so everybody can chop up lettuce. Okay, so I'm not interactive for people to come up here, 20 people are on my table, but I do have one person at a time, or I'm passing my stuff that can be passed around to use. Okay, so that right there, this is one of the things that is passed around. Now, of course, my baker's hot, so I can't do that, but I'll actually have people come up that want to try it on meats because people don't believe you can do this with meats. Okay, so I'll have them come up. Now, of course, I am going to drain the juice off of here if you're doing the bruschetta bake. If I'm doing the grilled chicken panini al fresco, I actually leave it in there because it's the chicken broth, okay? But you want that, you don't want the bruschetta actually, you don't want that wet, okay? So I'm actually going to drain that. This is what I have this for. And then the rest of the mix is literally stuffing, like pepperidge, your container, a large can of diced tomatoes, the garlic, and 1 cup of water.
Can you send that to
And cheese. What?
Can you send the recipes over?
Yeah, we'll do that. It's wherever Handy got it from, I'll send it to you. It's just a Word document, but yeah. So when you look at it, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is not showing nothing big. Remember, you need to tie in something to it to show that. But when you see what I'm showing with it, I mean, yes, this is $85, but I'm showing over $300 or $400 of other stuff that doesn't need time into this. So of course, and then it actually finishes off in the oven, okay? So people will come up and use the salad choppers, that kind of thing. So technically, and this is my coarse grater, okay? I'm all about my cheese grater, okay? I actually broke my rotary grater probably back in February. Have I purchased a new rotary grater? Nope. Okay? Only because I think more people, I mean, they realize this is, oh, this is a regular cheese grater, but a lot of people like that thick cheese. Okay? I get that. I don't want my cheese that thin. Okay? They don't want it that fine. So I tell people, if you want the really, really fine, we've got the grater, and you know, most people know what that is, and what I'll say is ours is a little bit larger than Olive Garden, what they bring out of Olive Garden. Ours is bigger, okay? But this is the coarse grater. Anybody use this for anything other than cheese? What you use it for?
Zucchini coleslaw.
Okay, zucchini. Again, back to the stir fry situation. You have everything cut evenly, it's gonna cook in half the time. Guess what this does? Okay, you got your shrimps, your zucchini, squash, your peppers, that kind of thing. Okay. Oh, egg, yep, you got your eggs, okay. And one thing on my eggs I didn't bring is my mix and chop. How many of y'all use that for everything but hamburger meat? Okay, I use it for hamburger meat, but I do try other things to do. Well, egg salad is one, by the way. So this is actually the coarse grater, but I do, of course, show them. I go into my spill, and I hope everybody here does not buy pre-grated cheese. Raise your hand if you buy pre-grated cheese. OMG. Lynn Harris. I know somebody taught you better. On my cheese, I do go to and spill. Most people do know, but there's a lot of people that sit here and they're like they don't expect to come to a Pampered Chef show and learn all the bacteria and stuff that I taught them. I'm gonna tell you, they tell me, they're like, I have no clue. I came to buy a mix and chop, okay? And they learned everything about what wrong they eat. So, you know, it's okay. But that's the whole purpose too, is because, and I'll go over my doors for, door prize slips in a minute too. But I do get feedback on my shows, and I'll tell you what the number one thing is, and everybody does put down for that. But your cheese, everybody know you have cellulose powder. Every single bag, and you can buy Surgenta all day long natural, it don't matter, okay? It is cellulose powder, and if you don't know what that is cellulose powder. Cellulose powder is wooden sawdust, okay? And I get this all the time, it's not the cellulose, okay? It is actually wooden sawdust, and it is all over the news, okay? All over the news. And guess what? If it had wooden sawdust in your ingredients, would you pick that bag up? You wouldn't, because you see what it is.
Now they put a mold inhibitor in it as well. I checked again the other day.
Cheese is mold, but That's what I get, it's mold. I'm like, no, your cheese is already mold, so. But, yeah, that's interesting. So, but you think about it. Because you don't know what it is, you buy it though, right? But if it literally said wooden sawdust on the back, you wouldn't pick it up, okay? So, and I tell, look, first of all, back up to the cellulose powder. I do say to you, does everybody know what that white powdery stuff is in your cheese? It is not flour, and that's when I go into the cellulose, because everybody thinks it's flour, okay? And it's not. Has anybody ever measured your cheese out of that bag that you purchased?
It's not what they say.
Okay, so 2.5 cups, right? Any math teachers in here? 8 ounces, how many cups? 1 cup. So how do you get 8 ounces out of 2.5 cups of cheese? And I get that look like, really? Okay. But again, think about most people buy it because it's convenient. How much does it cost? Okay, $3-4 for grated cheese that you're only getting a cup out of, that you think you're getting 2.5 cups. So those of y'all that love making your recipes, ooh, it's already done. Guess what? You're cheating yourself out of 2 cups of cheese. Okay. So if you grate your own cheese, most of the time your hosts are buying an 8-ounce block of cheese. Any idea how many cups, if you grate it yourself, that you get?
And a rotary grater, 3 to 4.
Rotor grater, how many?
3 to 4.
You get 3 to 4 cups of cheese. Okay, 8-ounce block. How much does that block of cheese cost? $2. Okay, for how many cups of cheese? Okay, how much is the bag again?
3 or 4.
How many bags do you have to buy to equal that 1 block?
2.
3. You gotta buy 3 cups. Okay, 3 cups, 3 bags. So that's $9 to $12, and you're spending $2 on a block of cheese. Okay, and I say, yeah, you don't buy it because you think it takes all day to grate. It does not take all day to grate. Okay, I do go into the spiel of how many people go to Costco, Sam's, or BJ's. Okay, anybody buy cheese from there right now? Block cheese? Okay, 5-7 pound block of cheese, that is a big block of cheese. Okay, but that big block of cheese means slices that you would normally buy already pre-packaged that you pay too much for. Okay, it can be grating that cheese. When I go home and grate cheese, I do it all at one time, I'm done. Okay, it does not take all day to grate cheese. If I was doing an 8-ounce block of cheese, I am done in less than 5 minutes. Is that all day? No, but what does people think? Oh, it's too much work. Okay, but you do have to have the right tools to do that as well. Okay, because if you have the old cowbell, you're going to be in there all day, bust your knuckles up. Okay, and then of course you got your rotor grater. Please make sure you show people how to use that, because people want to put it in the wrong end. Okay, and it doesn't work that way. And again, the rotor grater, you're back and forth. The cheese grater is not only for cheese. It can go for nuts, carrots, anything that you want to grate. Okay, and if you don't know this, real coconut will grate in your cheese grater. Okay, but that is very hard to grate up, so just know that you've got that as well. Okay, so that's my cheese story. Now we're going to go to, now I will say that I do bring these to my shows. I bring every single one of them, and I use every single one of them. Okay, my favorite, and I'm going to tell you my favorite 3 products that I use together, and they should probably group these together. I should talk to you for a second, tell them, is these 3 right here.
Yep.
Okay, because this cuts the veggie winter. Okay, this cuts this up perfectly for you to get in here. Okay, and then I'll ask people, how many of y'all have our white scrapers? Okay, have you ever had one person say they did not like this? Not one person. Why do you like these?
Clean the bowl out.
They clean the bowl out, and I joke, how many of y'all like licking your brain bowls? There ain't nothing to lick. Okay, this is all you have left, so you need to make sure you leave some extra on here. Okay, you know, so I use all this. I'm gonna tell you, this is my favorite. I probably got 50 of these, and I ain't joking. Okay, this is my favorite size, but I like this one as well because I do go in and tell them it actually cleans your walls out, and it actually fits right inside here to do that for you. Of course, we go into that doesn't melt. How many of y'all right now have had your customers that had these for a long time and had no idea they can cook with them? I get a lot of hands. They're like, you cook with those? Yes, their heat safe is 650. How many of y'all cook at 650? Okay, a chef doesn't even cook at 650 because your stove doesn't go to 650. Okay, so that's my joke about this. Now these are here. Okay, how many years? How old do I think you are? 12 years old. What color are they?
White.
Okay, they're white for a reason because they don't stain. Okay, and I try to find somebody who's had theirs for a long time. You may get somebody, some maybe still 2-3 years. Of course, this is newer. We just got this last year, so this is newer. But I do go into it. If you're a cake decorating person, this is perfect for your cakes. Okay, dishwasher safe. They're all one piece. That is my biggest thing, is they're all one piece. And I do go into detail. How many of y'all had these at home before, not pampered chef? How many of them come apart before? Did you look on the inside?
Yes.
Okay, it's full of mold and bacteria. Because think about, what do y'all use these for? Before Pizza Chef, what did you use these for? Just mix, okay, most time it's eggs, it's your batters, your stuff like that. And of course, they're all melted because they're not heat safe, right? You're trying to cook on the stove and they're all melted. But people literally will take those apart and clean them and put it back together. That is too much work, okay? This is all one piece from top to bottom. Think about what you've mixed it up with. Pancake batter, eggs, cookie mix, all that stuff is all dried up in there with all that soap and water. Okay, that is a mess. So that's full of mess. So that's one of my selling points for these. But they do need to cook. They do need to know that they can cook at these at 650 because a lot of people do not know that. Okay, and you know people don't read directions. You got to explain they don't read directions. I have a lot of people who cook that keeps those products and use carefully, but they don't help them get the trash can because they don't, they don't even know how to take care of it. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to go into my spiel about the stainless steel bowls. Every single show, mine is wore out, I'm going to tell you. It goes to the dishwasher 15 times a week, it seems like. Now, I will tell you, I have about 2 or 3 sets of them, okay? Because I do keep one set totally for show, for booth fairs. Makes sense, totally separate. I have these that go to every show and I use at home, and I have a whole other set that's on the refrigerator at home, okay? How many of y'all watch Food Channel? Okay, what kind of bowls they bring out of the refrigerator? Same stuff. Okay, so everybody's on the same page. Now, how many of y'all do not have these? So I got right me. So we're doing a show to get these?
Yes.
Yes.
Thursday.
Oh, yeah, okay, Thursday. Okay, just make sure he's awake over there. All right, so the one thing that I ask people, can you tell me the difference between these and the ones you have at home? What's the reasons?
The
The bottoms, okay? How many of y'all, I'm very surprised, okay, back to the classic battle bowl. I'm very surprised that y'all use that. How do y'all use that for everything at your shows? All right, like it's never been, I'll be honest with you, I ain't never took it to my show. Even as, now of course I've been in it for a long time and we didn't have these, but I still didn't take it to my show. Okay? I'm very surprised at people who have these and don't take it to their shows. Okay? I do know people who still keep them in the box. You did. Lois, excuse me, Lois was trying to ask me today. Jeannie too, right?
I didn't take mine.
She didn't take hers.
I don't take them my shows, to be honest. Even though I've seen you do this will be like the third time. But I do use them.
But you need to take
So what would you, have you ever done the white chicken chili?
Yeah.
So what do you do the garlic in if you don't take the garlic?
Oh, I normally just do one of my prep bowls.
You're new to that.
Well,
Oh, you can do that. No, we didn't have
Pre-bag.
that. But in the
Pre-bag.
past, I've always done my prep bowls.
Okay.
Now, I will tell you, I normally bring a 3-cup prep bowl. It just really depends on what I'm fixing. I'll either bring 2 3-cups or I'll bring 1 cup and 1 3-cup, okay? And that's when I explain to people, if you don't have these, those are wonderful. They're just like our batter bowls. I can sell the batter bowl all day long and just show them that little prep bowl, okay? So I tell, how many of y'all chase your mixing bowls around right now? I know somebody's in here chasing their mixing bowls if you got that batter bowl, right? Okay, most time people raise their hand. If they're not chasing them, they're holding them like this with a little scrubber, right? Okay, so this is for non-skid. And the reason I like, how many of y'all use hand mixers? Okay, what do you have to hold on to when you use a hand mixer? And what else? The bowl, so both hands are done, okay? The thing I like about this is you do not have to hold the bowl. This is very hard to get used to if you're not used to this, because your mindset is I have to hold everything so it doesn't move. So remember, this doesn't move. I do tell them that this comes in 3 pieces. One tip that I got from my lovely friend Wendy is this is a 6-piece set, not 3 pieces, okay? Because we do got lids, okay? I do tell them about the thumb spout. I don't know if y'all do not use this, but I love it, okay? Absolutely love it. And if you notice, a lot of bowls do not have this, okay? So, and I will take one of these and pass them around. Whatever one that's not dirty, will be, and I'll be honest with you, most of the time it's this one right here, okay, is the one I'm passing around. These 2 are already dirty. And I do show the measurements, okay? I do tell them these come in 3 bowls. This is 24 cups, 16 and 8. They all do nest down into 1 bowl, but if you want to be pretty in your kitchen, you can put your lids on and stack them on top of each other. They look beautiful, okay? Anybody here have our whisk? You know the whisk fits right down in the side right here. Okay, holds right down there for you. I do go over the lids, okay? Most people do not have lids for their bowls, am I correct? Have y'all taken any of these places and it's ever fell over in your car? Or was there a mess? There's no cleanup, okay? The thing that I do tell them, these lids are not dishwasher safe. They are very thick and they kind of suction cup down on the inside, because how hard is this to put in? Okay, if you've had your bowls for a very, very long time and you have the old lids, you need to buy some new lids, okay? Because they were upgraded. They do not go in the dishwasher, and that's when I tell people they can stack these on top of each other. All right, so how many of y'all?
The lids don't go in the dishwasher or the bowl?
These are not, these go in the dishwasher, okay? They are dishwashers. These do not go on top of the stove, and I'm telling you for a reason, because people ask me. Melt. No, okay. So these do not go in on top of the stove, and they don't go in the microwave either. Hey, people crazy. Okay. So this is my lettuce bowl, okay? Right now, we've already picked on Teresa about not washing the lettuce. So when I go to the grocery store, I normally buy, okay? I will tell you most of the time I'm going to BJ, Sam's, Costco, and I'm getting about 6 heads of romaine lettuce, okay? Guess who keeps all that lettuce? Okay, because I get that look like, if you were behind me at the grocery store and I had 6 heads of lettuce in my buggy, what would you say about me? Okay, that girl's crazy, she got some rabbits, or she's something wrong with her, okay? Because what do you go to the grocery store for every week? Lettuce, okay? So how many of y'all have these right here and you're not storing your lettuce in them? Nichole Ramsey knows better. Nichole Ramsey knows better. Okay? So when I go home, okay, I do cut it off the stem, okay? Now I do not cut it with salad choppers because I don't know what I want to use it for yet. That makes sense to everybody. And just cut it off with a knife, throw it in here. Now I am washing it with my salad berry spinner first, okay, and getting it off. How many of y'all shop at the farmer's market? Okay? Do you buy your lettuce wet? Okay, when you go to the grocery store, this is my whole thing of getting to this, okay? Because what makes your fruits and vegetables go bad is what? Water, okay? And guess what you buy? You go right to the ones that are soaking wet, okay? So that's why I try to explain to people is you want to get your fruits and vegetables as dry as you can, okay? Anybody here shop at Harris Teeter or Lowe's? How many times have you ever, you can be honest, buy from the stuff that's sitting in ice? Yeah? Tell me why you buy it sitting in ice. Oh, it's so cold and it's beautiful, right? Okay. Guess why it's beautiful? Don't they have all these fluorescent lights above it? So that's what it is. And that is what makes your food go by fast, okay? So next time you go to the store, stay away from that ice section because people still will be over there buying their fruits and vegetables in that ice. But just know it is a market thing for the grocery store. Okay. If you don't know that, you can go on Yahoo News and search that because that's what it is. It's just the whole market thing to get you to buy it because it's free. Okay. So my 6 heads of lettuce are in here. Okay. With a dry paper towel on the top, not the bottom, and my lid. Okay. So when you put things in the refrigerator, first 2 things that come to mind is macaroni salad and potato salad. Okay. When you take the lid off, where's all the condensation? Top, and then you got a whole puddle in the middle of the water, right? Okay. How many of y'all have dumped that? I'll have a couple. How many of y'all just mix it in? It's just water. Okay, it's just condensation. All right, so remember, your condensation works where? Up, not down. So I get that. Why wouldn't I put my paper towel on the bottom? Okay, it works up, not down. Okay. Now, the whole key of keeping this longer, okay? Those of y'all that buy lettuce right now and you are not storing in stainless steel bowls, what are you putting it in? How many of y'all are guilty in the bag it came in? Oh my God, I'm throwing Ramsey out right now. She's mine and knows better. Okay. Okay. So remember whose hands have been in there and it's just sitting in your refrigerator? Yeah. Okay. I don't care. And I do have people who watch it and throw it right back in the bag. I don't understand. Okay. So I'm going to put my lettuce down in here, dry paper towel with the lid. Okay. Those of y'all that do this, how many weeks do you get out of this before you have to throw the trash can?
We had it ours for a month.
Month? Any longer? Mine's about 6, 7 weeks. Okay. Stainless steel bowl, 6 to 7 weeks. So who's crazy of going to the grocery store every week?
Teresa.
With her bag lettuce. Okay. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm not crazy for going and buying 6 heads of lettuce. You're crazy because you got to go to the grocery store every week and buy lettuce. Okay. It's all of what you stored in. Okay. Now I do keep that paper towel changed out once a week. So about every 5 or 7 days, I do have to change that paper towel out. okay? Now, I have a lot of people who don't even cut their lettuce up. I'm not a big iceberg person, I will buy it sometimes, but you know, there's no nutritional value at all in that lettuce, and it's full of water, okay? So what I normally buy is either romaine leafy lettuce, that kind of stuff. So that's normally what I put in here. But I have a lot of people who will actually just wash in that and actually just wrap the entire iceberg head and put it down here. So, now, you're not going to get 6 heads in here, obviously, for that. But because I cut mine up and throw it in here, I can. I do keep that paper towel changed out, but if I forget, is my lettuce going to last for 6 weeks? No, because that paper towel is going to be what? It's very wet. When it has nothing else to collect to, guess where it's going? Back down to the bottom. What color is my lettuce going to turn? Brown. Okay, so that's why you don't start at the bottom. It works up and comes back down. Okay, so keep your paper towel changed out. How many of y'all love fruit? How many of y'all waste more than you eat? Strawberries and grapes are my favorite. Okay, pineapple too. Okay, but most of the time when you go to the store, is this the most average size that y'all are going to buy from the store, like strawberries and grapes? Okay, what do y'all store that in?
Container came in.
Ours do that. Container came in, okay? Now, I do wash, and again, salad and berries, better strawberries and grapes in there as soon as they come home, okay? I do not cap my strawberries because they will go bad fast, okay? So it's just washing and cleaning, I'm throwing them in here, okay? Now, I will tell you, when I'm at the grocery store, I don't just pick grapes and strawberries up and throw them in my bug. They are dissected before they come home, okay? Which means I open the container and look, because let me tell you why. When you buy something that is in a mesh bag or a mesh container, the outside is absolutely beautiful, because guess what? It can breathe, okay? The inside is what? Okay, or it's already white, it's got mold growing on it. Look at it before you leave. Am I tasting it? Absolutely not. Don't want pesticide poisoning, okay? I want to live a little longer, okay? So what I do is bring it home. Now, if you do, again, you come home and it looks like that, you need to take it back to the store, because first of all, fruit is not cheap, okay? So you need, and your grape cherry tomatoes are very bad about that too. Your potatoes and onions, okay? If you're not separating those when you get home, how many of y'all don't do that? Okay, you need to take them out of the bag, put them in a flat top box, and get them off top of each other. They will last y'all months and months and months, okay, because they can't breathe. The only outside is what can breathe, so that's what's going to be pretty, and the inside's all mush, okay? So this is in the refrigerator now. My grapes and strawberries in here, same way, dry paper towel. Your strawberries and grapes are not a lot of water, so again, it's the same purpose of the lettuce. Every 5 or 7 days, change that paper towel out. 3 to 4 weeks in here before they go bad. Not 5 days that y'all are getting right now, okay? Your pineapples, your watermelons, your cantaloupe are full of what? Water. That paper towel is not going to last 5 days in here. Your paper towel is every 2 days. But you're going to get, most of the time, most people don't let that go to waste. They normally eat it very fast. But if you're one of those people who, you know, it does last a long time, do your paper towel, but every 2 days you're going to have to change it out, okay? Now, if people don't have these at home, I will give them tips on your, you know, your Tupperware. I know Tupperware's out there. Whatever they're from the store, that kind of thing. And it's no different. You still do the dry paper towel. Are they going to get 6 weeks out of it? Absolutely not, because this is what? Stainless, and it stays colder and lasts longer because we have to do this. Okay? So if you, and I'm telling you the truth because y'all all raised your hand about Food Channel using stainless bowls out of the refrigerator. Okay? So if you think about it, it makes sense when somebody explains it to you. So just like Hannah said, okay, every show that I talk about these, I've got at least one set, if not more, and if not, they're booking a show to get these, okay? How many of y'all don't have these? How many of y'all want these today? Okay, there you go. Rest done. Now, my 2 tips that I've got for celery and bananas, okay? How many of y'all waste more bananas than you eat? Wendy, do you do this trick? Okay. She's my witness, that's why I asked. She's been in my show, so I just want to make sure. Bananas. Now, one of the things that I love to do, if you know, when you buy bananas, unless you're buying it from one of your wholesale places, they come in bags, and they're really cheaper that way, okay? But when you go to the store, don't everybody pay per pound for bananas? What are you paying the most for? The stalk. So why do you buy the stalk? Rip it off in the grocery store, leave it right there. Dang. How many of you go in there and bananas are laying everywhere? Okay. Majority of the people may know that, but a lot of people only want 1 or 2 because they can't keep them no longer than that. Okay. So when I buy them, I do bring home individually. I will tell you, you will get about 2 or 3 more bananas than what you're paying for that stock right there. okay? Get rid of the stalk when you're there. Now, I'm gonna tell you, don't try to be so easy so I don't rip my banana. You need to do it fast. The faster you do it, it will stay together, okay? I normally buy, to be honest with you, about anywhere between 7 to 10 bananas, okay? When I bring them home, I individually wrap them in aluminum foil. Makes sense? Not the whole bunch, individually, okay? So if you have a pretty banana holder, you can get rid of it in the yard sale, okay? Don't need it no more. If you got the trifle bowl, it's great, put in there with all your fruit for display. You wrap it, they last for 3 weeks. Okay?
Refrigerator.
No, refrigerator, because it'll be mush.
Just wrap it.
Wrap it in aluminum tinfoil. I don't care where you buy your tinfoil. I get that Dollar Tree one. I don't care where you buy them. Okay? It works. I have a lot of daycares who do that because they go through a lot of bananas. Okay? So you want to wrap each one individually. If you like bananas and you like popsicles, you do the same thing. You just throw them in the freezer with your aluminum foil and bring them out and you got your popsicle. Okay? But if you do put it in the refrigerator, you're going to have mush. Okay? So keep them out of the refrigerator. Okay? All right, how about celery? How many of y'all waste more celery than you need? Only one person?
What'd you say?
Waste more celery than you eat. I'm not a celery person. I know it works, but I do not like celery at all. Please come home and wash it. I know you do, because you can see all the black stuff, okay? But think about Teresa, who eats the same thing on her salad mix up here.
I do wash my celery.
You do? You gonna wash that mix now?
I'm not gonna buy it.
So on your celery, anybody here know how to make that last longer? Any idea? Okay. No, well, you can. I've heard that. And the easiest thing to do, so you're not having to go through all that, is again wrap that in aluminum foil. Now, when I'm doing this celery would be dry. So it needs to be dry. Okay. You're going to actually wrap that in aluminum foil, put it in your refrigerator. You can do the whole stalk if you want to, or you can do individual pieces, and it'll still be crispy 3 weeks later. Okay. So I'm not a spokesman for Reynolds Wrap, but it works. Okay. I get that. Do you work for Bounty Paper Towels and Reynolds Wrap? Okay. No. But they are your best friend.
You can wrap that banana in your peel, or do you take it out?
No, leave the peel on. Leave the peel on. Okay. If you like green bananas, don't even waste your time. Okay, because you need to be buying green and eating green. I don't like green bananas. Okay. I like mine yellow, really good, but not green. Okay. And if you get mush, those of y'all that bake, your bag of bananas is what you bake with. Okay. So don't throw them away. You got banana nut, bread, all that stuff. Okay. The last thing is spices and herbs. Anybody here have an herb garden at home? Got a couple people. Okay. And most of the time I'll get 1 or 2 people at a show most of the time. What is the biggest thing that you use? Basil. Any cilantro? Cilantro. Okay.
Cilantro,
I make a lot of sauce at shows. Okay. And this is what I get. I would make it more if I didn't have to go buy cilantro all the time. Okay. And that was me until I had to figure out what I needed to do. I know we sell our keeper. You buy it all day long if you want to. But what did I tell you made your fruits and vegetables go bad fast?
Water.
Guess what that herb keeper is? Water. Okay. If you take cilantro, like cilantro is the thing that you use a lot for. And does anybody here not like cilantro? Couple people. Again, you don't cook with the entire tree that you have to buy from the grocery store. Okay. Anybody ever had dishwater in their mouth? That's what it tastes like. Okay. So when somebody says my salsa don't taste like yours, I already know what they did. Okay. Put the whole thing of cilantro in there. So your cilantro most of the time when you're cooking is a palm size. That's normally what you're putting in there. Okay. So what do you do with the rest of that? Okay. And what happens to it the next day? It's dead, it's warmed over. Okay. Because it's all in how you keep up with it. Now, when I tell you this is completely dry, again, it cannot be wet. It needs to be completely dry. And I'm going to tell you normally what I do is when I've got, I'll actually wash it, and it does take, and I still do my salad very spinner for that too. Okay. But still, it's so tedious, it takes a little bit longer to dry. I do wrap that in aluminum foil as well, no paper towel, no nothing, just aluminum foil, and it will last you in your refrigerator 3 to 4 weeks. Okay? And make sure it is dry, because if you wrap it wet, you're going to have a mess. Okay? So that's my little herb, and that's for any herbs, not just cilantro. That's your basil, rosemary, all that stuff. Okay? So anything that you have, cilantro is the biggest thing because you never use that much at one time. Okay? All right. Any questions?
So you don't put it in the baggie after you...
No. They're wasted. Just a little foil.
I just asked them this.
I promise. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to actually go over my door price slips. Okay. And the reason I do that is because this is the way that I get information from people, but I also make them want something. Okay. And what I'm going to do too. Everybody have their catalog. okay? I'm gonna just touch, I'm not gonna go over the entire thing of what I do at my show because my time's probably what, 5 minutes left. So, I might run over a little bit. On my catalog, I'll be honest with you, I do highly touch on 3 products. I do my knives too, but it just depends on if I've had a lot of questions during my show, okay? Because I can probably spend a good 30 minutes on knives because everybody has questions. So the very first page I want you to turn to is page 8. Actually, take that back to page 6.
Page 6.
How many of y'all have this? How many of y'all use this? I have a lot of it, okay? What I probably use a lot, no, because I'm like, oh, my baker's delicious, okay? But of course, I'm not telling people that at my show. But I do go through the catalog and I say, I want to show you because this is what's special. October, okay? Miss Hannah talked about 99% of her shows was for those stainless steel bowls. I'll be honest with you, a lot of my people have those bowls already, so what am I trying to sell? This right here. First cost is $100, $99, okay? So I'm trying to sell this as well. And of course, it is a brand new product, so people who do not have stainless steel bowls could care less. They need something new, so this is what I'm actually going to promote this month. Now, I'm doing stainless steel bowls too. So what I tell them, this is a brand new piece that we just came out with, this is our covered roaster. And when they see it, they're like, oh, that was, they're assuming this huge piece of cookware. And then I show them, oh, that's manageable. So what I do is and I do pass this around. I do pass it around for a reason. A lot of my products that after I've used it or whatever, but my stainless steel bowls will pass around, that kind of thing. I show this, how light is this? Very, very light. This is very, very heavy, okay? So one of the things is I tell them this is from stovetop to oven, vice versa, okay? It is non-stick finish. They can cook anything that they want in here. They can do soups, they can do their meats, any of that good stuff. The other thing that I do like about this is not only do we have a lid to put this on, we also have a what? Casserole. You have a casserole 9x13 bagel right here, okay? I do tell them this is microwave, dishwasher, oven, all that good stuff. No, this does not go on top of the stove top, okay? So I do tell them this. Please make sure they know this does not go in the microwave, okay? Because they hear you say this, and they think that they can throw this in there too. So that's one of the things. And I just briefly go over that, and I don't even say, oh, you can get this for $33. Oh no, it's $99, and I just leave it at that, okay? And then most of the time, because of that other baker's right there beside it with that turkey, I will say, I want to tell you the difference between the two. This is large, okay? This is a huge pan for your turkeys, your hams. This is your holiday pan. Or if you want to make a big lasagna or a chicken casserole or something like that, that's what that is for, okay? So that's all I do on that page right there, okay? So my next page is cookware. So the next 3 sections are cookware, okay? Because now we have a third cookware set, I'm just touching the highlights, okay? So you may say more, but just know that I'm going over all 3 sets and not just over one, okay? I will tell you, okay, that just probably 85% of the reason people look to is because they want a piece of cookware. Whether it is the set, okay, or if they just want a piece. Just about every host is using their half price item for a piece of cookware, okay? And it's because I go into detail, what kind of cookware do you like, what do you need? Now I will tell you, those of y'all that's been at my show, I do burn rice at my shows. Burn it on purpose, okay? And I do rice for a reason. How many of y'all burnt rice before? How does that pan clean out? That's I get that look. So when I burn rice, that's what I keep, of course I'm not taking stainless steel burn rice in, okay? Taking it on stick. So the first page is going to be page 8, which is our stainless steel cookware. How many of y'all like stainless steel cookware? A couple people. How many of y'all have that cookware? Okay, so right many people. I will tell people I'm not stainless steel chic other than my stainless steel bowls, okay? But I do have a couple pieces and I only cook certain things in there. But if I have people who have stainless steel bowls, like Wendy, what's one thing you like about those stainless steel cookware?
It goes in the dishwasher.
Okay, dishwasher.
I like it to brown the meats in.
Brown your meats in. Fast. So that's what I'm saying. And that's the whole thing is people will tell you what they like that. Now, do I cook with it? No. So, but I will tell you, it would be like, okay, well, this is why, this is why. And a lot of people's like, well, I hate to clean up. I know it's easy to clean up, okay? So you have to tell them that. But I do tell them ahead of time, it is not non-stick, okay? They do have to have the oil, butter, whatever you're going to do. I say, how many people again watch the Food Channel? What kind of cookware they use? Stainless steel. Do they always have hand mittens while they're cooking? Yeah. So that's one of the advantages that we have. Our handles do not get hot. Okay. You can cook on high all day long if you want to on the stove. But now, when you go in the oven and cook, and that set is 500 degrees heat safe, and you can use the roll, don't forget you gotta have those hand mitts to pull that cookware out, okay? Because remember, people don't think they need to talk that, okay? I do go over the sets at the very top. You have a 5-piece set on your left-hand corner, you have a 7-piece on the right-hand corner, all right? Okay? As a host of a cooking or catalog show, you can actually get that entire 12-piece set for $439, okay? How many people here know what Williams Sonoma is? How many of y'all been around and looked at cookware? Okay? How much does a 3-piece set of stainless steel cookware cost? Okay, $1,200 for a 3-piece set, okay? Do people buy it? All day long, okay? So you need to tell them, so how does $439 sound for a 12-piece set of cookware? And not to mention it is lifetime guarantee, okay? And I don't mean limited for 2 years, I mean lifetime, okay? Lifetime means what?
Forever.
Okay, as long as you're not tearing it up, that, you know, that kind of stuff. We do have regulations. I don't go into all that with the non-stick, okay? So I go over the 2 sets. I pretty much tell everybody everything else is individually, okay? And then, you know, I go to my next page, which is on non-stick. How many of y'all cook with that right now? Okay? A lot of people, that is my favorite cookware set. I do burn rice for a purpose, okay? Just to show. Because when I go around in my rice cake, yeah, you can put peanut butter on it if you want to on one side, burn on the other, okay? But I get that look like her pan doesn't even need to be washed, okay? That's the reason that I do that. So I take actually the smallest saucepan that's in maybe 5-piece set, maybe 5 or something. I can't remember which one it is. Okay? That's what I take. I actually pretty much do. I can't remember the measurements myself. About 1/4 of a cup of rice to a 1/2 cup of water, and I absolutely let it burn. Okay, and it burns within like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I cut it off. Okay, and if you keep, you know, you let it boil and then put the lid on, nobody will ever smell it's burning unless you take the lid off. Okay, so that's what I do to actually show the non-stick cookware. Again, we have our 2 sets, 5-piece on the left-hand corner, your 7-piece on the right-hand side. As a host of a cooking or catalog show, you can get that entire 12-piece set for $389. Okay, how many of y'all have bought cookware from Target, Walmart, Bill, Kohl's? Okay, how much does cookware cost there? Any idea? Okay, even if you go Black Friday, okay, it's still $100, $200, $300 on because they've marked it down, okay? So people on a regular basis go buy cookware sets and they cost how much? They're most of the time spending $200 to $500, depending on how many pieces where they go buy it from. How long does that cookware last them? Okay, so why are you spending $500 on something that doesn't even have a guarantee with it? Okay, and remember, the store is not giving you any information about that cookware because they want you to do what? You got to come buy some more. How many of y'all are guilty right now for using non-stick cooking spray on non-stick cookware? What is wrong with you? Hannah, you need to take care of your girl because she's bad, okay? So why do you buy non-stick cookware if you're using non-stick spray? Your mama taught you that way, right? Mama did. Okay, because think about it, it's here. You just see everybody else doing it, and that's what you pick up. Guess what ruins your non-stick cookware? Cooking spray, okay? Because first of all, it's full of what? Chemicals, okay? It costs $4 a can if you buy pan, okay? So I know most people buy store brand. And it's half full of air. I don't understand. I don't get it. And it is 98% fat free. That's what I hear all the time. How much do you spray in that pan? Way more than what the serving size is, okay? But I get what? It's 14 grams of fat in real oil. Am I using 2 tablespoons of oil? No, okay? So who's spending more money, okay? So, you know, if you're not teaching that at your show, that's one of the biggest things. Because people ruin their cookware. How many people here teach cookware at their shows and you're amazed at how many people put their cookware in the dishwasher? Okay, well guess what they said? Well, my box says it's dishwasher safe. Yeah, it does. Big red, dishwasher safe. Guess what the fine print says at the bottom? Not recommended for the dishwasher. I don't care where you buy non-stick cookware from. I don't care if it's from Pampered Chef, Williams Sonoma, Walmart, Kmart. It does not go in the dishwasher, okay? But the store's not telling you that. Why again? Coming back to buy more cookware, okay? So your lovely consultant is telling you for a lifetime guarantee you can have the entire 12-piece set for $389, okay? Now, one pan I do talk about that I really want you to try if you were interested in starting our cookware is the 8-inch saute pan. Okay, how many of y'all, everybody should have that, especially if you're a new consultant. I didn't get that, I got gyps, so that was way before y'all got that great kit. But the 8-inch saute pan, how many of y'all fry out scrambled eggs? What's the first thing you do to the pan when you put it on the stove? No oil, Yay. Most time I get what? Oh, I spray my pan, okay? No, I do not put nothing. Now, a lot of people put butter because you want the butter taste, so it's obviously your choice of what you want to put in there. But I normally, and most of the time, there was one person at my show that has it, and let me tell you, they sell it for me, okay? When they get done, they'll literally say there's nothing there to clean up, okay? Because that cookware is very easy to clean up, okay? So that's my spiel about the nonstick. Now, the next page is actually going to be our brand new cookware that just came out, which is our white ceramic cookware. No, we cannot change colors. I've already got that color. Can I have red? Can I have no? It's always white, okay? And my thing about this is have I cooked in this? Yes, the 8-inch sauteing pan I have, okay? You know, and this, if you pull me to the side, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, like I probably wouldn't tell everybody, but I would spend the $20 extra to get my lifetime guarantee. Sorry, okay? Because I guess I look at it as long-term and not for this. And I tell people this does have a 3-year guarantee. Now, if you do take care of your pamper chef, it's going to last more than that, okay? It does not go in the dishwasher, okay? This is no different than your regular. Oh, and by the way, on the nonstick, I do tell them it's 400 degrees heat safe, no metal utensils, and no dishwasher, okay? I do tell them that, okay? Same thing for this. This is no different. How many of y'all have a hot, curling iron, flat iron? You got ceramic tiles. This is no different. How long? My takes about, flat iron's about 30 seconds. Okay, that is no different. Okay, because it does heat up very, very fastly. Okay, so pretty much I go over that we do not sell these in sets because these are going to be for our people who cannot afford the lifetime guarantee and want to actually just start with certain pieces. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, I tell them it's 400 degrees heat safe. You know, no metal utensils, no dishwasher, and use a little bit of oil, and that's really all I'll talk about it because I don't use it on a daily basis. Okay. So that's my cookware spiel. Now on page 36 is going to be your stoneware. I know everybody here has this little favorite. Raise your hand if you don't use this at your shows.
I don't have it yet.
Don't have it yet. Okay, you know it's next month, right? 60% off. Okay.
I have the round for it.
Oh, you got the right one. Okay. And I was going to tell you, anybody here have a lot of vegetarians at your shows? Mika? Okay. I'm telling you, if you do, you really need to invest in that small round baker and take that because you can like take your mix minus the meat or whatever and cook it in that and do the same thing. Okay. So just to let you know that if that is your option, you've got that and you don't have to worry about trying to keep everything separate and all that stuff. So you got this. Now the first thing on page 36 and 37 is our stoneware. Okay. I do ask everybody, does everybody here have stoneware, that kind of thing? What's your favorite piece and what do you like about it? What's everybody like about your stoneware? Cooks evenly. You can't burn nothing. Has anybody ever tried to burn something? It don't burn. All right. It might be hard as a rock, but it don't burn. Okay. And I have to tell people this does not go on the stove top.
What about the grill?
No.
No.
I know they do, and I tell them it's not. So when it breaks, I'm here for it. And no, it's open fire. Okay, no, can't do that. So this right here, I'll be honest with y'all, I've had this thing in my oven twice, okay? And only once because the recipe for that chicken bruschetta bake is only 15 minutes. It's an expert to the stuff in the rice and the melt the cheese and all that stuff. So I never use this in the oven. Yes, it is oven safe. This is no different than your normal stoneware, okay? Now, I personally have a 50-page cookbook. Everybody should have that same cookbook, okay? I take that at my shows and actually show that because if you think about that cookbook, is that not real food? Does everybody know what I mean by real food? What we would normally fix on a normal basis. Not going into a 5-star hotel, eating at a restaurant, okay? You know, you sit, and I tell people, I do everything from soups, stews, and chilies to all my meat to desserts. I do tell people about my desserts, they don't go to the microwave. I mean, they don't have a lid.
What did you just say?
That you're talking
Oh,
about.
it's the
The email.
PDF.
The PDF. Yeah. So, and I tell them, you have to have an email, you have to print it off. How many people have told you, oh, I didn't print it off yet? Well, what good is it doing you? You got, and I tell people, print it off, go to the Dollar Tree, buy cheap binder, put it in the kitchen, okay? But a lot of people never print it off, so they never use it. You wouldn't be surprised. I actually did a show about 2.5, 3 weeks ago. There was 9 people in that room that had that baker, and guess where it was at? Brand new in the box. I have gotten 25 messages on my Facebook. I am not believing that I have used this more in the 2 weeks. Like they would have said, I've used this more in 2 weeks than I probably would have ever used it before I came to your show. Okay? All because I sent it in the cookbook. All because it's in the cookbook. Okay? So even though that your customers have been to somebody else's show, just know there are some consultants that don't know nothing about that cookbook, okay? They don't know how to use it. Does that make sense? And I don't know about y'all as far as that big cover baker cookbook in the thing. A lot of people say they don't like that, okay? I mean, I've made every recipe? I don't know. Some I have. But now would I use that one that we do on home basis? Yes. So if people have bought the baker, yeah, I know you want to sell this $85 baker, okay? Some people already have it, send them that so they'll use it. I will ask y'all, how many people here have spent full price of this? Full price. No host, no half price, no nothing. Miss Angie, use this?
Yes.
Okay?
But I bought it when it first came
Oh,
out.
so
And I wasn't sold.
Okay, so it's $60-some, but now it's 85, okay? Or 84, whatever it is. $85. So my thing about this is this not the best $85 that you can spend? Absolutely, okay? And I ask people, who here works a full-time job and has to come cook dinner? And I just give them examples. Who can come home and fix lasagna in 12 minutes? And I get that look like, if I'm eating that, that's crazy. Every time I make lasagna at a show, there is no leftovers, okay? Chicken fajitas. Nobody makes homemade chicken fajitas. First of all, it takes too long. Pork tenderloin is probably my favorite thing to do in here because I get mouth dropped every time of that. Because a grill takes way longer than 22 minutes. Your crock pot is all day long, okay? Oven, most people don't know this. How many minutes is it per pound to cook in the oven? 45 minutes per pound. Most people just open it up, don't even pay attention to directions. I can do 3 to 4 pounds in 24 minutes in this thing and be done, okay? So it either, whether I'm doing it just to do sliced pork tenderloin or I make homemade barbecue with homemade barbecue sauce, okay? So you got either way, and you got ribs too. Maybe
What do you
ribs.
serve with your,
Coleslaw.
with the meat?
Yes, the coleslaw, yeah.
I do slice and
Oh,
do
yeah.
slice
Okay, on rolls.
and take the raspberry habanero sauce and mix it with mayonnaise and then put that on the slider.
That's a good idea. So you, like how much jar? Jar.
I just do it as.
You just do it as you go.
Yeah, and it's just a pretty purple. I get it more purple, like it's not dark purple. It's about 50-50, but maybe.
So mayonnaise and that.
Okay. And then spread that on and and my host usually gets a little slider bun, so I get the rolls and the slice
Yeah.
them.
Oh, good idea. That's a good thing. I do that though with the sauce and mayonnaise, so I'll have to try that. But normally I do coleslaw, okay? If they're not a coleslaw person, then we do a salad, okay? Because if you're just doing a pork tenderloin and you're not doing like cutting it up with salad choppers, making barbecue sauce, they ain't nothing to that. I mean, it's sprinkling the seasoning. And now when I slice mine, right here, done, okay? Done. That's
You
it.
can use the whole thing slice too.
Yeah, you can do that. Now if I'm doing barbecue sandwiches, I chop it all up with this to get done, okay? But I have some people, literally, because you're just putting the seasoning on, throw it in the microwave, there's nothing to do, okay? So you've got to find something else to talk about, okay? All right, so on the stoneware, I pretty much go over that, and I make sure to tell everybody, I don't know if y'all had this problem, everybody thinks stoneware has a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks that. And I think it's because they consider it cookware and they're thinking it's cookware. You need to let them know this is 3 years, okay? You would not believe how many people sit at my show with a piece of stoneware still in that box 3 years later. That's cracked. Oh, I'm going to get with that Nichole girl. Guess what happens? 3 years don't pass by, and then they get mad at me because they can't replace their stone, okay? So you need to make sure that you tell everybody that. Of course, no dishwasher, no Pam, and no soap, okay? And I've got that, Nichole Raines can look back here probably with that soap, right? What? Soap? Absolutely. See, crazy. Crazy. Yep, soap. But you can't stand it. So, and now tell people cast iron skillet. How many of y'all have cast iron skillets? Okay? So these people who raise their hands about the cast iron skillet are the ones who says, ooh, that's dirty. Well, guess what your cast iron skillet is? It's the same thing. It's no different. Other than I start off white and you want it black, but when you buy cast iron, what color is it? See, it's a middle thing. They can see it. Okay? So that's what I try to tell people about your stoneware. The next pages are 2 classic stoneware sets. Okay, different pieces that you can get. And technically, most of the time I go over the large bar pan and the small ridge baker. Okay? I don't know about your small ridge baker, but I love that baker. I wish they'd make a big one. Okay? And I try to tell people, if you are a person that's healthy, healthy nut, trying to keep your food out of the grease, the fat, that kind of stuff, that's your pan. And I pretty much tell them that is a grill pan for your toaster oven, your microwave, and your oven. Okay? Does not go on the grill or the stove top. Okay? Technically, that's what I say. Okay? So that's my spiel about my stoneware. Now, if I had a lot of people that is brand new to stoneware, I would get more into detail. Okay? But everybody here knows how to do your stoneware. Okay? Now, door price slips, so I need you to start a new piece of paper. I do the ticket game, but I give cards. I give a deck of cards, okay? Because let me tell you, that's a whole lot cheaper than some tickets, okay? You can go to the Dollar Tree and buy 2 packs of cards for $1. So if they want to keep them thrown away, I don't care, okay? Whatever they want to do with them. So I pass them out, and everybody's like, can I look at them? I'm like, yeah, you can look at them, steal them, whatever you do, I don't care, okay? So everybody gets 1 card for coming. So the first thing I do in my door price slips is I don't just hand them and say fill them out, because what is everything going to say? No, hold it, okay? So I give it to them on the back, and I say we're going to write a couple of things down. The first thing that I write down is one thing that you like about the show. Cannot be food because you have not eaten yet. What do y'all think most people write down? Product tips. That girl knows her stuff, she knows her products. I learned so much about stuff that I've still got in the box, I'm not used to, just that kind of stuff. I never have, my Sally Ho store, the smell, I normally don't get that. So that's one of the things that I go back and read, and that's, most times that, you've got a product, you call her, she knows. And just like Hannah said, do I know everything about every product? No. But you do have to spend time as a consultant, okay, doing this. Now I'm going to tell you, I've been in this business almost 9 years, this didn't happen overnight. Okay, and it just comes with time. Okay, because I do have new consultants, and I'm gonna pick on Ramsey up here. She taped my entire show, so I might be on YouTube. I have no clue. But anyway, I was like, "You taped me the whole time." She's like, "How am I supposed to learn all this stuff?" So a lot of people get up here and think you have to be somebody else. Remember, this is your show, and you have to. This works for me. Okay, I want people to go home with index cards. That is my goal, is for them to go home. When somebody leaves without an index card, I feel like I've not done my job. Okay. Second thing is, I want to know one thing that you would love to have out of that catalog, or something that I showed you tonight you cannot afford to take home.
Say that again.
One thing that you would like to have that I may have showed tonight, or that's in the catalog that you cannot afford to take home. The third thing is the number 400, 400. All right, now the next 2 things that I will normally do is this is going to be tied into my host special. Does that make sense? So I would say, I need you to go through your catalog right now, and I want you to go to page 36 through 39. And I want you to write down any 2 pieces of stoneware that you would like to add to your collection. Because it's tied around the stoneware. Does that make sense? They don't know that, but I know that. So whatever the host special is, that's what I'm tying it around. Okay? Now these are going to be for the ones that you want to book. Now if you're done with October, you need to be, you don't need to talk about October specials. So I'm at November, okay? And think about it, because December is whatever you want, I've already got you to write it down, okay? So that's the whole thing there, okay? And the very last thing I want you to write down is one thing you would like to know about my business, and you can be nosy. And I say it slow, because they said, I can be or I can't be nosy. You can be nosy. All right, and at that time, this is where people start asking me for questions and they start getting cards. So the thing I do, if anybody asks me about my business and I say you can be nosy, I've already let you cheat and write something down, so everybody should already be ready to ask me a question, okay? If somebody has already answered the question that you have written down in your paper, you can still ask me anything else. You get 2 additional cards every time you ask me anything about my business, okay? If you ask me anything about the host program or the benefits, you get 1 card for each question that you ask. Okay, so that's my ticket game, and that's how my story is why did you get started? How much money do you make? Do you earn trips? I'm going to tell you that 99% of that card game is about my business. I hardly ever have anybody ask me about the host benefits. I have to. I think they forget. Like, everybody's doing the business, they forget. So I do get all kinds of questions about my business. What's your worst show? I get good things and some. Now, if I have somebody who's sitting there that don't ask anything, they're going to find out. Okay? Because then I say, flip your survey slips back over on the front. I'm going to get you to fill out the top part last, but I want to go over the questions with you. Okay? How many of y'all had a great time today? Hello. Okay? How many of y'all learned something to take home today? Stainless steel bowls. Please take them to your show, Monica. I'm just picking you out. And that's one of the things that I asked, and I do thank them for coming. And then I, go over the, of course, everybody's going to ask me about my business. They know what I make, they know what trips, whatever it may be. But if they don't ask, I'll say, how many of y'all here right now could use an extra $400 a month? Everybody raises their hand, okay? That's why I got you to write down number 400 on the back of your slip, okay? Even though that I personally make more than $400 a month, leaving your house 2 to 3 times a month can earn you an extra, $400 a month. And I didn't say 23 times, I said 2 to 3 times, okay? Anybody here work a part-time job outside their full-time job? Yeah, Chef, right? Chef. And the reason I tell you this is because it's true. Most of the time, your part-time jobs, you have to work every single night and every single weekend, okay? Because they don't cater to you. They need you to work their hours, obviously, okay? It takes you 27 days at minimum wage to bring $400 home. Everybody hear that? And how many times did I have to leave my house for $400? 2 to 3 times, okay? I end it right there. Check yes, maybe or no. I'm not non-executive will show up to your house, pick through your blinds, and call you 100 times a day because I don't have time, okay? Just give me your information. I'll send you some, information. And most of the time, I'm bad that I never have that stuff with me because I like to email it to them. That's how I stay in contact, whether I have to call them that, okay? And let me tell you why. I get home, I don't know where I put that stuff, or I've lost it. So I send them an email with a PDF attachment, okay? It's all on Consultant's Corner for you to download, okay? Second question, how many of y'all have a huge wish list? Okay? How many of y'all can afford to take everything home tonight? Not one person, and most of the time nobody raises their hand, okay? And that's the one thing. What one thing did y'all write down y'all couldn't afford to take home today? Cookware. I get stainless steel bowls, I get knife blocks. It's always big stuff, and guess what it always is? Everything that I've talked about, okay? It is nothing in that catalog that you know what I'm saying? That's what they didn't say all one food product for half price or free. And that's when I say, as a host, you can literally take that home for free, half price, or discount it, and sometimes it's 60% off as a host, okay? Again, if you mark yes, then we can set up your cooking or catalog show tonight, okay? And if I put, and I tell them, if you mark no, don't expect anything free from me. And I get this like dead serious look. If you mark no, don't expect nothing free from me. Okay? But I get that dead look like, okay. All right, and then I tell them if they're interested in any of that information at the bottom, they do check that, okay? They add their cards up. It's not how many you have in your hand, it's what you have in your hand, okay? And I just pretty much named it myself. I do jokers for 20 points apiece, okay? I do aces, 15 points apiece. Your jacks, kings, and queens are all 10, and then your number's what it's worth, okay? They add all that up, and whoever wins, that's my door prize, okay? Door prize can be a citrus pillar, spice, season's best, it's something like that. It's nothing huge, okay? So that's how I do my survey slips, okay? But I get more interaction other than, here you go, fill this out, okay? Do I go through them before I go home to see who's booking the show? No. I ask every single person that comes to this table because I tell them, we're done, everything is ready. By this time, everything is ready. And by the time they're doing this, I'm walking and doing everything, okay? So everything is kind of going with the flow, so that way when I'm done, I can be up for taking orders. I say this is not Walmart, Target, we don't wait in line. So drop your stuff off, enjoy yourself shopping, and I'll call you back up to close you out. Make sense? Okay, go ahead.